Hello friends! You're on the Last Days channel. Thank you so much for your engagement and support. And so, a review of events for November 3rd. Indonesia. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake has struck the eastern Indonesian island of Timor. The tremors were felt in the provincial capital, forcing residents to run out into the streets in panic. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the seismic event occurred 22 kilometers southwest of the city of Kupang in the province of East Nusa Tenggara. Hypocenter of the element, according to the Geophysical Agency of Indonesia, was at a depth of 6.6 kilometers. The tremors were felt in many areas, but no casualties were reported. In the city of Kupang, some buildings were damaged, some residents had to leave their homes. Valencia, Spain. In the east of Spain, there is a terrible incident, a forest fire. Local media report that 350 people have already been evacuated, and 34 fire brigades are fighting the fire. However, extinguishing is hampered by unfavorable weather conditions. The wind spreads the fire faster. So far, the causes of the fire have not yet been established. Information about victims has not been received. It is worth noting that most of Spain suffers from drought, which leads to increased risks of forest fires. Last year, the fire destroyed 307,000 hectares of land. Europe. Storm Ciarán continues to torment Europe, leaving behind a path of destruction and death. People have died in the UK, Belgium and the Netherlands, while dozens have been injured in France. Meteorologists call Ciarán the most powerful fall storm in the history of observations. In France, northwestern areas were hardest hit, where rescuers had to evacuate nearly 1,500 people. Residents of coastal areas have been advised not to leave their homes, as the risk of flooding remains. Authorities have declared the highest red threat level in 3 departments. The Netherlands has also declared an orange danger level, warning residents not to leave their homes. One person died under a collapsed tree due to strong winds that continue to increase. Hundreds of flights have been cancelled in the UK and rail services have been suspended for the time being. Hundreds of residents are being relocated to hotels as they fear the walls of their homes will not withstand the pores of the elements. The storm has hit the south coast of the UK, leaving almost 9,000 homes in Cornwall without electricity. Heavy rains threaten to cause flooding. In the county of Devonshire, in the streets of the city of Exeter, erect protective structures. The storm has reached Spain, where a woman died after a tree fell on her. In the capital and other cities, parks and cemeteries have been closed, and trains and flights have been cancelled. Storm Ciarán continues on its path and could bring more destruction and death. People are advised to be extremely careful and follow the warnings of meteorologists. Italy. In Italy, in Tuscany, there are heavy rains. Rivers are overflowing, cities and settlements are flooded in the regions. The state of emergency has been declared. Heavy rain and wind gusts have caused damage in several provinces. Over the past 24 hours, some areas of the province have seen rainfall that has not been seen there in the past 50 years. Some areas recorded nearly 200 millimeters of rain in 3 hours, the monthly norm for November. Firefighters are on duty in the streets of Florence, Pistoia, Pisa, and Prato. They are rescuing people trapped inside cars in underpasses. In the town of Campi Bisenzio, the river overflowed, flooding the streets. Authorities urged people to stay off the streets, not to drive cars and, if possible, to climb to the upper floors of houses. As a result of the bad weather, more than 48,000 people are currently without electricity. Restoration works are underway. One person has already become a victim of the downpour. Australia. The scale of the fires in northern Australia over the past 2 months is unfathomable. An animation captured by satellites visualizes the vast area where the fires are raging. This map covers an area larger than France, Spain, and Germany combined. The situation is extremely serious and requires immediate action. Measures must be taken to eliminate the fires and protect people and animals. We hope that the situation will improve soon. Blagoveshchensk, Russia. Blagoveshchensk is covered with snow. The record for 100 years for the amount of precipitation has been broken there. The roads are covered with an icy crust on which cars slip helplessly. Even trucks cannot cope. To pull them out, you have to attach several cars at once with a cable. Also, some intercity bus routes have been cancelled due to the weather. Greece. The earthquake with magnitude 5.1 occurred on the island of Euboea at 9:26 Moscow time. The origin was at a depth of 10 kilometers. The epicenter was located 8 kilometers from Prokopion. Underground tremors were felt in a number of regions of Greece, including Athens. Magadan region. A powerful snow cyclone has hit the Magadan region. It brought to the region 15-day norm of precipitation. According to the specialist, more than 20 millimeters of precipitation fell in the Magadan region. The cyclone came to the region from the Sea of Irkutsk. Now its influence is coming to an end, but on Saturday Kolyma will be covered by a new snow cyclone. One of the peculiarities of the current weather in the Magadan region is temperature fluctuations. During the day, the thermometer column rises above zero, and at night there are frosts. Because of this, ice forms on the roads, which leads to many accidents. Recall that earlier in Kolyma announced emergency warnings because of snowstorms. In the Amur region, after the snowfall, cancelled a number of bus flights. In addition, the cyclone disrupted air traffic between Sakhalin and the mainland. Kazakhstan. Storm warning was announced in 13 regions of Kazakhstan. Fog is expected in the morning and at night in most parts of the country. Forecasters predict heavy snow, snowstorms, ice, and wind with gusts. According to Kazhydromet, the weather will be unstable in November due to the alternation of cyclones and anticyclones. Rapid change of barrack formations will keep unstable weather in the northern half of the republic. Precipitation in the form of rain and snow is expected, as well as ice and increased wind. Temperature indices will decrease in the southern half of the republic due to the extensive anticyclone. Weather predominantly without precipitation across the republic is expected, with dense fog in the night and morning hours. Paraguay. Extreme weather hit Paraguay. Large hail fell in the department of Arroyos and Esteros. Sakhalin. Forecasters predict a storm in the north of Sakhalin. The Sakhalin Department of Hydrometeorology and Environmental Monitoring reported a dangerous rise in sea level. Storm excitement is predicted at night and in the afternoon on November 4th near the shores of the Oka district. According to forecasters, the height of waves will reach 3 meters. Water level rise is forecasted in the area between the villages of Moskalvo and Rybnovsk. Waterlogging of coastal objects is expected. Earlier it was reported about a cyclone with heavy rain and wind on Sakhalin. Bad weather disrupted the work of the ferry crossing between the island and the mainland. The weather in the region is expected to start improving by Friday evening. Irkutsk region. The Irkutsk region is on the periphery of a cold anticyclone, which leads to very cold weather. 30-degree frosts hit the region, and forecasters at the Irkutsk Hydrometeorological Center reported that temperatures near -30 were recorded in the north of the Tonga district. Forecasts for the coming nights suggest -27 in places to -33 degrees in Tonga and northeastern districts. It is noted that this year such frosts came earlier than in the previous couple of years. In the south of the region in Irkutsk it snowed for a long time. The height of snow cover on November 1st was 5 centimeters, and on November 2nd increased to 9 centimeters. Due to the snowfall in the city there were multi-kilometer traffic jams. Snow is also expected on Friday, November 3rd. Morocco. A pack of orcas attacked a Polish sailing yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar. As a result, the vessel sank off the coast of Morocco, but there were no casualties. For 45 minutes, the orca struck the side of the yacht, causing severe damage and leaks. The yacht sank a little before reaching the Moroccan port of Tangier. Despite attempts to bring the yacht to port by the captain, crew and salvors, the vessel sank near the entrance to the port of Tangier. The crew is now safe and unharmed and is already in Spain. According to the Spanish government, the aggression of orcas to small vessels, especially sailing, has been recorded since 2020. Recently, a pack of 6 orcas has been particularly active, which will be monitored by satellite to warn mariners of possible danger. Scientists have also reported that sharks that attack people in search of prey are migrating northward and may soon appear in UK waters.